Morning. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfectly.
Perfect. How are you doing, first of all, Carlos?
Very well. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Love to hear it. First of all, congratulations on the win on Wednesday. Fantastic result. Have you managed to get the mud out of your jeans after that fantastic knee slide down the touchline yet?
No, the most important thing that we had to manage for me was the recovery, because of course the effort of the players when you achieve one result like that one in the last minutes of the game means that you had to extend the high level of effort during all the 97 minutes of the game. So the most important thing that we need to manage now is just the recovery. Yesterday and today we will start to manage the preparation for another key and very important game.
Are there any fresh injury concerns off the back of that game?
No, fortunately no. We need to check how Tom Lees is from the kick that he received. But the normal thing is that he trained today and he will be available. So if he is available, we are not to have any type of change.
Perfect. This incredible run of games that you've been on, one feature that stood out to me has been the ability to keep going to the very last minute. We saw that against Cardiff. It wasn't something that we saw at the start of the season. Sometimes the results slipped away. What's changed from the start of the season until now?
Sometimes doesn't think any change. Sometimes are things that happen. I think if you are losing one game and you need to change the game, you are going to put everything that you have inside yourself. Maybe the same game, we play the same game. Sometimes you are going to have the option to score. Maybe the action of Coroma, the ball go out and you don't achieve the first goal. And if you not achieve the first goal, you don't achieve the second one. So sometimes in football doesn't mean that you are prepared to solve always the same situation. Just means that you need to insist to try to change the situation when the situation is not being the positive that you want to be. So for me, the key is to be consistent, to keep going, to never give up. And this is exactly what the team did. Sometimes doing the same, you are going to achieve the result. Sometimes doing the same, you are not going to achieve the result. But the only way that you have to change one negative result is to don't give up and give it the best in attack or in defense to achieve the goal or the goals that allow you to give you the 3 points.
Yeah, and that's something we've seen in this run fantastically. Before this 16-game unbeaten run, 14 games in the league, you were on 28 points from 20 games. You've now picked up that same number of points from just 14 games. Are you confident that you can keep that run going against Birmingham?
No, I'm no confidence or no, I am confidence and I am no confidence. No, I am just focused. More than confidence, I will tell you I am focused to see how we need to prepare the game to compete against Birmingham, because our responsibility is to compete against Birmingham. So now, during yesterday, we were analyzing them. Today, we are going to start to share the information with the players. We will start to make the preparation of the game, because we know that it's going to be another very challenging game and we need to be prepared to play against them.
Well, that almost answers my next question. I was going to say, I'm sure you're aware that this is Huddersfield's best unbeaten run in over 100 years in the second division. Is there a certain expectation within the squad that you'll get something out of each game now, or is it still just taking each game as it comes?
Exactly, like you say, like I don't believe in the expectations, because for me the expectations are not real. Talk about the future is talk about anything, about nothing. So for me the future doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is our skill to be focused in the present and to give everything that we have inside ourselves every single day in our life, because we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. The only thing that we know that we can control what we do today. So today we will be focused to prepare. We will focus to prepare the mind, to prepare the body, to prepare the concept of the game, and how that tomorrow we can show a very good performance. And always our idea is to deserve the result and make the result the consequence of a positive performance. I think we can control how we perform. Like we can control how we perform every single time. We are going to be full of focus on this point.
Yeah, and we saw that focus against Cardiff, but at times it looked like you might struggle to break them down, obviously leaving it late with the goals. Are you at all worried about a lack of creativity within the side?
No, it's exactly like you say. In some moments it was very difficult, because I know that every game is going to be very difficult. If some of the problems that we were facing against Cardiff are going to appear against Birmingham, because the team defend, because they are focused to don't allow us to break the structure that they create in defense. For me, especially Cardiff, one of the highest improvement that they have had during the year have been they have a better structure in defense. They don't have changed the shape in a long time. They are playing 5-3-2. they don't mind if you have the ball in front of them, but they mind to be very compact to them, don't have the ball between the lines. So this is the first step. If you are one team that will play directly to the strikers, they have 3 central backs and they cover well, but they protect this, like I told you, with the 3 central backs. If you are not going to play directly, you need to break the lines, and you don't see sometimes many spaces between the lines. The only space that we find in the lines like was on the sides of the 3 midfielders or on the sides of the strikers, because the last line with 5 you can know only in behind, you can break the last line. And the previous one, if you don't want to play directly in behind, you need to play on the sides of the strikers, on the sides of the midfielders. So it was the only way that we find, and sometimes this way demand a lot of accuracy, a lot of patience, and in some moments we were doing, for me, fantastic. In some moments, of course, was a high challenge that was not easy to manage.
Yeah, and as we saw at Cardiff, league table positioning can be deceiving as to how good a team is. Birmingham sat just above them in the league. We know they can be a tricky team from the last game. Their position in the table doesn't really reflect the challenge that they present, does it?
No, for me, I 100%. I think that every game is difficult. If I analyze Cardiff, they have for me make a high improvement in the squad in this market. They have bring players like Taylor, like Bacuna, like Hernandez. So they have bring a new player that for me create a very strong team, a very strong squad.
I'd like to touch for a moment on the depth of your squad that you have available. It seems that every single player is pulling their weight. I don't envy your job of picking the starting 11 every week. How nice is it to be able to call on such a vast number of players, and for the likes of Russell and Ruffles to be able to step in and step up at such a good level?
Yes, I think this is something necessary to be competitive in this league, because if you don't have possibilities, you never can be competitive when you are playing every 2 or 3 days.
And just a quick word on John Russell. Unlucky to get his goal against Sheffield United chalked off. Must be nice for him to finally get off the mark for the club.
Yes, because for me it shows, or it reflects the good work that he's doing. And I think his contribution is being very high, even if he wouldn't have scored the goal. But the fact that he was scoring the goal in one moment that was necessary to, of course, to have this point of finishing, this point of quality in front of the box, shows that he has a skill not only to be position midfielder, that he has skills to can play as a number 8 or as a number 10 highest in the pitch.
And just lastly from me, I know a couple of weeks ago that you said the table wasn't real because of the amount of games other clubs have played. You know, there's games in hand, but you're up into 4th position at the moment, only 2 points behind Bournemouth in that second automatic promotion spot. Are you letting yourself think about promotion just yet, or are you still taking it a game at a time?
No, I think I agree with myself to tell you that the situation in the table is not real, because the number of the games of the team is not equal. So may now differences of points without analyze the differences of the games would be a high mistake that I don't want to make.
Thank you, Carlos. Good luck.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Stephen? Hi, Carlos. How's Pippa doing? Is he possible to play tomorrow?
We are going to see today if he can make the training with the group or he complete the training with the group. Depending about the feeling in the training, we will make the decision.
Okay. And talk about sort of the goals the other night. Jordan Rhodes made a big contribution in both goals. You must be really pleased with what you've seen from him off the bench. He's making an impact in that role.
Yes, always important to have the contribution from the player from the bench. For me, the first change that we did was 18, and 18 was helping the team in the building at the beginning of the action. We changed Koroma, and Koroma for me maybe was the game that he has made more impact in this season from the bench, because during the season, the best games that he was doing were games where he was a starting player. For me, the other day, he was showing that he can help the team not only be a starting player, being a player that help from the bench if the team need. And this is exactly what for me he did. And the other player was Rhodes, that was exactly the same. Was one player that he was involved directly in the first goal, and he was involved indirectly in the second goal. And always is important to have these possibilities with the player from the bench.
Sorba Thomas's balls in, where you said earlier you needed the accuracy as well as the patience, and he does have that accuracy. I mean, how do you feel his form is going? He had that dip, but he seems to be back on form now.
Yes, because for me, after this period of games, something that I was talking with him is that now he started to be very consistent in his competitive mentality and competitive actions. And I agree with you that in the last minutes of that game, we needed to put more balls to the box with more crosses, and he was one of the players that take more responsibility to make this type of deliveries.
And you mentioned John Russell, just to go back to him, you described him as a special player the other night. I think Danny Schofield also recently described him as a special player. What do you think it is that makes him special?
I think it's one player that have the skill to manage the ball and to keep the ball. And he's one player that has one level of calm in different heights of the pitch. And this is very important because sometimes in football, to have one player that can take 2-3 seconds with the ball, allow the team to make one fast attack. So sometimes you can give a speed to the action when you stop a little bit the action. Sometimes when you accelerate the action, you are going to accelerate the losing of the ball. So he's one player that for me has the confidence and the skill to keep the ball, and keeping the ball and taking time with the ball, he allowed the team to take a better position in attack that allow us to counter better. And he find this calm close to our box. It means that can improve the playing out of the team, and he has this calm highest in the pitch, so it means that he can play in more attacking positions.
Yeah, I think that's all from me. Thanks, Carlos. Good luck.
You're welcome.
Leon? Morning, Carlos. Hello.
Good morning, Leon.
Hello. Your team seem to be very tactically aware and technically aware. You got some really good professionals. Do you think some of them may become managers and coaches later on after they've finished playing? Because they seem...
I don't know. It's a nice question, but I cannot tell you the answer. I don't know which of these players have the motivation to be coached. But I don't know if I will advise them to be coached. I will advise them to extend their careers as a football players, and of course to be coach you need to feel this, because you need to feel that you want to be a coach. You need to have the mentality. But I cannot give you the answer. I just focus to go with them as a players, because for me as a player they need to be the fact that you are aware about the solutions that the game give you or to understand how to attack or how to defend is not the only job for the coach. Because for me, the player has to understand the situation. If they don't understand the action that I told you to be patient, or they understand to take positions to break some lines, they cannot do in the game. And just in the game, they are precipitated action or playing without understanding. For me, it's important that the player play with a good level of understanding of the need of the situation. And it doesn't mean that they can be coaches. For me, you can be coached when you cannot do these things, or because you are not in the age, or because you never have the skills to can do the things that you understand. So the player, for me, what makes special of them is that they understand and they have the skill to do.
They seem really interested in their profession, and they seem to be, much like they come into training and really enjoy it. They enjoy their learning their craft and their skills.
Yeah, because I think be professional is part of our responsibilities. We cannot make something exceptional about something that have to be basic. If you as a journalist, you need to be professional too. If you are not professional, you are not going to be journalist. And for me, in every job, we need to have this level of self-responsibility with the job that we do.
Yeah. Your team last season, for different reasons, you were playing under pressure for points at the end of the season. There's pressure this time, maybe a nicer sort of pressure, but it's something that your players, handled last season, and they obviously, hopefully handled, they are handling it this season.
I think more than to play with pressure, we are playing with motivation. It's true that the last year we were playing with motivation, but knowing the consequences to don't perform in the games. And this year we need to play with the highest level of motivation to be the best team that we can be in the pitch. And this is everything that we need to have inside ourselves.
And finally, your team of 15 different goal scorers, I think, this season. That's a real a positive statement about the work you've done and the team ethic that you've got there. That's it's fantastic.
You told me that 15 different players have scored.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Yes, because it means that we are not going to depend of one of the players. We depend about the spirit of the team. Of course, in this collective spirit, every single individual player is important and is necessary to have. That's why, for me, we need to try to increase the availability of our squad, of our players. But it's clear that our strength as a team is just the team.
Yeah. And just a quick one about Jordan as well. Stephen spoke about him. He's not just a goal scorer. He's a mature player, and he can set up and assist goals and help the team in other aspects as well.
Yes, I think it's good to have the mix of young players like can be Solva Thomas, like can be Russell right now, like Scott High, players that have less experience, with players that have more experience in the league, like can be, for example, Rhodes, one of them, or Hawk, or Tom Lees, that are players with many games in the championship, and with players that they have been living different type of moments, and they can give one level of stability and consistency, not only emotional, in the pitch too, because when they put this experience to the action that they are having.
Yeah. Thank you, Carlos. Good luck tomorrow.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.